You slip out of your mother, somewhere in the North Atlantic, and the current pushes you sideways before you even have a chance to move on your own. You're already over a meter long, and you're alone. No siblings come out after you, and your mother doesn't slow down. She turns and goes down, her body disappearing below you until you can't see her anymore. You start moving upward because that's the only direction that makes sense right now, with your body rising slowly through the open water. Then something cuts across your path. A blue shark, much bigger than you, swings in from the side and turns toward you with its body angling down. You push harder, trying to get above it, but it follows with its nose pointing straight at your tail. You angle to the left, then cut back the other way, and after a few seconds, it loses interest and peels away into the water below. You keep rising until the water around you gets lighter, and then you stop. Your mouth opens on its own, and water starts passing through, running over your gills and back out again. But nothing comes in with it. No food, nothing solid, just water. You don't know what you're looking for yet, so you just keep your mouth open and move forward, letting the current carry you along the surface. A few hours pass, and nothing changes. You're moving but not eating, with your mouth open and your body cutting slowly through the water. Then the water in front of you starts to look different, slightly thicker, with tiny specks floating in it that weren't there before. You push your nose into it, and for the first time, something actually comes through with the water. Not much, but something. You found the bloom, but you don't know that yet. You're a few weeks old now, and your stomach has been empty long enough that your body is starting to slow down. So you push up toward the surface of the ocean where the bloom is thickest and open your mouth wide with water rushing through your gill rakers. It works. Tiny creatures pour in with every pass, and for the first time since you were born, something is actually going into your body. That's your first real meal, and you keep moving forward to get more of it. But then another basking shark enters the bloom from the other side. It's bigger than you, maybe twice your size, and it cuts straight through the middle of the patch with its mouth open wide, pulling in everything in its path. Every time you line yourself up with the thickest part of the bloom, it swings back through and takes the same line, so by the time you get there, the water is already thin. You try pushing further left to find a denser patch, but it follows the same current and ends up cutting across your path again. So you go under it. You drop down just below its belly and angle your body toward the edge of the bloom, where the current is pushing the plankton together into a tighter strip. The bigger shark stays up top, still working the middle, so you take the outer edge and keep your mouth open with your body moving steadily forward. It's not as thick here, but it's yours, and nothing is cutting through it. After a while, the bigger shark moves off and follows the current further along the surface, and you move back into the middle where the bloom is densest and feed until your body finally starts to feel full. But the bloom won't stay this thick for long, and soon the current will start pulling it somewhere else entirely. You're a few months old now, and the bloom near the surface of the ocean has thinned out so much that you're barely pulling anything in with each pass. So your body pushes you to follow the current going north into colder water where the plankton is still thick. You've never done this before, but your body already knows the direction, so you go. For a while, nothing gets in your way and the crossing goes well. Then a group of dolphins appears from below, cutting up toward the surface of the ocean and spreading out around you. There are about 6 of them, and they start circling with their bodies angling in close on each side. You try to keep moving forward, but every time you push ahead, 2 of them cut across your path and force you to angle away from the direction you need to go. They're not trying to eat you, they're just pushing you around, bumping your sides with their bodies and turning in tight circles around your head. So you drop lower, going down far enough that they lose interest in following, and then you push forward under them with your body staying as steady as you can manage. After a while, they peel away and go back toward the surface of the ocean, and you rise again and carry on in the same direction. A few days later, the water in front of you starts to thicken, and when you open your mouth, more comes through than you've pulled in for weeks. The new bloom is bigger than the last one, so you work your way into the middle of it and keep moving forward with your mouth open wide and your gill rakers pulling in everything that comes through. But you're not the only large animal following this current north, and some of them are much bigger than a group of dolphins. Skip forward a bit, and you're 1 year old now, and you've grown enough that the dolphins from before wouldn't bother trying to push you around anymore. You're working your way through a good patch of bloom near the surface of the ocean when your body does something it has never done before. Your tail kicks harder than usual, your whole body angles upward, and before you can do anything about it, you break through the surface and launch yourself fully into the air. Your entire body leaves the water, all of it, and for a second there's nothing around you but open air. Then you come back down and hit the surface with your whole side, sending a wall of water out in every direction. Nobody knows exactly why basking sharks do this. It might be to knock parasites loose from their skin, or it might be a way of letting others nearby know where you are. But whatever the reason, it works. A few minutes after you land, 2 other basking sharks appear near the surface of the ocean not far from you, both of them moving slowly in the same direction along the edge of the bloom. You've never been near others your own size before, so you pull in behind them and match their speed, with your body following the same line they're taking through the water. The three of you move together like that for a while, working through the bloom in a slow line with your mouths open and your bodies staying close. Then, one by one, they peel away and go their own direction, and you're alone again. But something has changed. Now you know others are out here, moving through the same water, following the same bloom. And the bigger you get, the more of them you'll start to find. You're 3 years old now, and your body has grown to nearly 4 meters long, so when you move into a patch of bloom near the surface of the ocean, other animals get out of your way. You're working through a thick stretch of plankton with your mouth open wide and your gill rakers pulling in more than they ever have before. When another basking shark moves in from the side, it's close to your size, maybe slightly shorter, and it pushes its nose straight into the same dense part of the patch that you're already working through. You need to hold this patch, so you angle your body across its path, trying to cut it off from the thickest part of the bloom. It doesn't turn away. Instead, it pushes forward, matching your angle and keeping its nose level with yours as both of you move side by side through the water with your mouths open and your bodies almost touching. This is how basking sharks settle things. No biting, no ramming, just two bodies moving in a line, each one trying to outhold the other until one of them gives up and moves to a thinner part of the bloom. You keep your line straight and your speed steady, pushing your body into the better side of the patch and forcing the other shark further toward the edge. After a while, it starts to angle away, taking the thinner outer strip and leaving the middle to you. That's a win, and it's the first real one you've had. But then the current picks up and pulls the whole bloom sideways, breaking it apart and spreading it too thin for either of you to feed properly from. You both end up with nothing. You're big enough now to hold your ground against others your size. But out here, size only gets you so far. You're 8 years old now, and your body has finally reached the size it needs to reproduce. So when you pick up a group of other basking sharks moving slowly near the surface of the ocean, you turn and follow them. There are about a dozen of them, males and females mixed together, all swimming in a long nose-to-tail line that curves slowly around a thick patch of bloom. You've seen this before from a distance, but this time you're old enough to join. You pull in behind a female near the back of the line and match her speed, keeping your nose close to her tail as the whole group moves together in a slow circle. This is courtship, and the way it works is simple. You stay in line, you keep pace, and you wait. Most males drop back after a while, losing the female they were following as the line breaks and reforms. But you stay with her, keeping your body right behind hers and adjusting every time she changes her angle. After a long time moving like this, she slows down, and you move up alongside her with your body pressing close to hers. You mate, and it's over quickly. Then she pulls forward and rejoins the line, and you drop back, letting the current carry you while the rest of the group continues circling without you. That's it. No bond forms, and she won't look for you again. But somewhere inside her body, the process has started, and it will take well over a year before anything comes from it. Basking sharks carry their pups for longer than almost any other shark, so by the time your offspring enters the ocean, you'll be long gone from this part of it. And when that pup finally arrives, it will be alone, just like you were. You're 15 years old now, and you've grown to just under 5 meters long, which makes you one of the largest animals moving through this part of the ocean. The bloom near the surface has thinned out over the past few days, so your body pushes you to go deeper than usual, down to a layer where a denser patch of plankton and small shrimp has gathered. You've never gone this deep before, but your body needs the food, so you drop down and open your mouth wide with your gill rakers pulling in more than the surface has given you in days. Then something rises from below you. It's long and heavy, moving slowly upward with its body staying close to yours as it comes up. A sleeper shark, thicker through the middle than you are, with its body angling up until it's level with your belly. It doesn't bite. It just stays there, matching your speed and keeping itself directly underneath you as you move forward. You need to get away from it, so you push harder and angle upward, trying to put distance between you and it. But it follows, rising with you and keeping the same gap between your two bodies. You angle left and it goes the same way, so you tuck your body into a sharper turn than you've ever tried before, cutting right and driving your tail hard to one side, and for a second, the sleeper shark's body goes straight while yours turns, so the gap finally opens up. You rise as fast as your body will carry you, all the way back up to the surface of the ocean, and the sleeper shark drops away below without following. You got away this time, but the deeper waters have food that the surface can't always offer, and sooner or later your body will push you back down there again. You're 20 years old now, and you're moving through open water near the surface of the ocean with your mouth open, and your body cutting forward through a thin stretch of bloom. It's not the thickest patch you've ever found, but your body needs food, so you keep going, pulling in whatever the water has to give. Then a large shape appears above you, sitting on the surface with a wide flat bottom and a long metal shaft turning underneath it. You've passed boats before and none of them have ever done anything to you, So you carry on forward with your mouth open and your body staying on the same line. But this one is moving toward you, and it's moving faster than you are. You try to angle your body away from it, pushing your tail to one side to turn yourself clear. But your body is 5 meters long, and it doesn't turn quickly, so by the time your head has moved, the rest of you is still crossing the same line. The propeller catches you across the back half of your body, and the force of it spins you sideways and drives you down through the water. Your tail stops working. Your body tilts nose down and starts to drop, with your mouth still open and water passing through your gills as you go. You try to push yourself level, but nothing below your midsection responds, so you keep dropping with your head pointing down and your back half trailing above you. After a while, your body stops trying to right itself and you sink the rest of the way down, landing on the seafloor with your side pressed into the sand and your mouth still open. A group of small fish moves in almost straight away. They start picking at the edges, working quickly, taking what they can before anything larger arrives. The ocean doesn't wait,